From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the 25th episode of Songbirds and Troubadours, presented by the ETX ROCKS Show, where we focus on the songwriter. That's right, one of the most unheralded arms of the music business, in my humble opinion. And guys, we're super stoked about this show because every single Sunday here in the ETX ROCKS living room, we get to hear all original music, a lot of the times for the first time ever. And we get to broadcast that to you guys out there. I assume because you're watching that you're a huge fan of the songwriter as well. And we want to thank you for that. And of course, every week we're focusing on the best independent songwriters in Texas and beyond. And today we have Texas and beyond, and I'll definitely tell y'all more about that here in a minute. But Keith Rea has been on our program before. He's a very good friend of ours. And so Keith, tell us where you're from and a little bit about your musical journey so far.
I was born in Madison, Indiana. I grew up as a Hoosier.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, I moved to Texas as soon as I could. Left after I graduated from college. I moved south because there was a blizzard at IU my sophomore year, and I swore on everything that was holy. And when I got out of there, I was moving to some place where I didn't need shoes every day. You know, I didn't have to wear everything I owned when I walked down the hall. I've been in the music business forever. I was in a boys club choir that toured nationally and had an LP when I was 9 years old. Started out as a drummer, played drums for a swing choir in high school and for a garage band, of course, and learned how to play guitar in the dorm room and piano in the classroom at Indiana University, and just fell in love with writing songs. The whole reason that I bought a guitar was so I could learn how to write songs, and as soon as I could play 3 chords, I was writing songs.
That's awesome. And now Keith is an award-winning songwriter. He's played the folk festivals. I know you've been down to Kerrville. Yeah. I know you've won awards at that multiple times. One of the coolest artists I know, and a huge fan of yours. I know you know that. Yeah. I listen to Keith all the time, whether I'm going to see him or not. And Keith is also one of our heroes that plays out at our Matt Gansel Music Outreach Center. One of the few artists that actually plays every single month. I'll be honest with you, with Keith, he hasn't even played his next one yet, and he's asking me for the next date after that. So I always want to make sure that we thank you for that. We definitely appreciate that. Call them heroes because it's outreach for medically fragile children out at Truman W. Smith Children's Care Center in Gladewater. It's just a lot of giving back and trying to help the kids with music therapy, and Keith has done that show half a dozen times now. It's not the easiest gig in the world to perform at, so thank you, Keith.
It's a real blessing to be able to go out there, and you know, if you make a little bit of difference in their day, you can see on their faces how much it means.
Yeah.
You can.
And I mean, you've played over there long enough to see that it is making a difference.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of those kids. You know, we started this in September, and I think when we first started, none of them knew what music was, and now they know how to dance, and they're singing along, and I hear some of them, you know, drumming on their chairs and really keeping good time, too. So it's really cool to see that music can make a difference in people's lives, even nonverbal people, and it's really cool to see that. Of course, we also have Jamie Weger here in the house. Now, Jamie is probably one of the ones that has come from the furthest away. We did have someone from New Mexico. Jamie's from Oklahoma. And we met through Facebook, and he actually is another hero of mine because he's played our acoustic series out of the goodness of his heart, no money involved, just to help us raise some money. Played at our Jefferson show, I think last month. And tell us where you're from and a little bit about your music so far.
And I'm from Colbert, Oklahoma, which is just across the Red River. grew up there my whole life. I started playing drums when I was 8. My brothers both played guitar. My uncle had a garage band when I was growing up. That kind of got us into it. And then I went to Afghanistan back in '06, and they wouldn't let me bring drums. So I bought a guitar and watched a ragweed concert when I got back and decided I wanted to write songs.
Yeah, and I love the story, man. You and I have talked kind of behind the scenes on Messenger and stuff. I've told you many times how much I appreciate your service to our country. It's because of folks like you that we're allowed to have a platform like this, so thank you for that. As you guys know out there, I'm sure if you watched before, my dad was a 20-year veteran of the U.S. Army, so anytime I have a veteran in here, I want to make sure you feel appreciated. So it's Keith Rea, it's Jamie Weger here on Songbirds and Troubadours number 25. The way the show works is these guys are each going to play 5 original songs for a total of 10. They might play more if they're feeling it. That does happen from time to time on the show, but no pressure. I know Keith and Jamie probably have 400 songs at least ready.
I wish, man.
Jamie's like, no, man, that's pressure. But yeah, they're going to play at least 5 each. Then we have a segment in the middle of the show that we like to call Question Swap. I know, really original. I came up with that myself. Now, if it was really cool, then that would have been from my producer. Like the name of the show came from her, Songbirds and Troubadours. That was her idea. Question Swap was mine. Sorry about that, y'all. But the way that's going to work is they'll each ask each other 2 questions in a song swap fashion. So it'll be like Jamie will ask one, then Keith, then Jamie, then Keith. Same way they'll play the songs. And that's always a lot of fun because I never know what these guys are thinking and what they're going to ask. A lot of times it's really insightful and educational about the business or about the process of writing. So if you're a young songwriter out there or you're just trying to get into the business, that is a really cool segment to watch because you can learn what makes other people tick within the craft. So make sure you're checking that out in the middle of the show. At the end of the show, for you guys out there that want to become fans of these guys, or if you're a venue that wants to book them, we'll have all their social media information and how you can contact them to book them for a gig. So tune into the end of the show for that. Without any further ado, guys, it's Songbirds and Troubadours number 25 coming at you right after this break.
This is Jade Marie Patek. Thanks so much for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
I'll start things off with a song that I wrote about my wife a few years back. It's called Oklahoma Angel. Bright light shining in the dead of the night. A kiss on the lips feels just right. A rage, a storm, a tornado. I'm just a trailer park with nowhere to go. But she's the prettiest thing that I ever seen. My favorite line in every song I sing. She got a wild side and a reckless heart. Well, I was falling in love right from the start. Well, she's an Oklahoma angel. She's a smart town beauty queen. Well, she don't wear no crown. Well, she ain't got no wings. She's an Oklahoma angel. She's a smart town beauty queen. An Oklahoma angel. She's everything to me, my Oklahoma angel. Well, she's the only drug that I can't put down. Best damn high that I ever have found. A sweet little story that I like to tell. With every penny at the bottom of my wishing well. Well, she's the hand I hold and the air I breathe. The life I want, the love I need. I was falling into queen. She don't wear no crown, she ain't got no wings. She's an Oklahoma angel, she's a smart town beauty queen. An Oklahoma angel, she's everything to me, my Oklahoma angel. Oklahoma angel, a smart town beauty queen. She don't wear no crown, she ain't got no wings. An Oklahoma angel, a smart town beauty queen. An Oklahoma angel, she's all that I'll ever need.
Seems to me like, and I've done a number of these song swap things over the years in different environments, and I've gotten to the point where I come in and I don't even have a list of songs ready. It's just like, I'm going to respond to whatever you do or whoever goes before me, and then I just kind of bump one off of that. And so this one, and the other thing that I promised myself I was going to do today was play some newer songs instead of still playing the same 5 or 6 that everybody hears all the time. And I keep getting response, you know, well, why don't you play this one? Well, because I got a whole bunch of other songs to play. And
it's funny how that works out.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm gonna do this tune that it's called Til Tomorrow. And I wrote this based upon, I guess, my separation anxiety. I was in Houston, and my partner Deb was still in Longview, and I was living in a hotel 3 nights a week and then driving back and forth up here on the weekends. And about Wednesday I got to be miserable, thinking I get to leave tomorrow. And that's where this one kind of all just came from. This is Til Tomorrow. Gotta get back to my 4th grade lass, watching sand sift through an hourglass, waiting for one more day to pass, till tomorrow, till tomorrow. Be in the arms of my best friend, that place where life both starts and ends. But I gotta wait for this journey to begin, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow. Tomorrow waits like a foregone uncertainty, somewhere between the spiritual and the sublime. Tomorrow creeps like a thief in the shadows, just waiting for the plot to unwind, waiting for the plot to unwind. Not sure I can make one last rhyme, even breathing's become such a grind. Best I can do is just keeping time, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow, till tomorrow.
try a newer one. If I mess one up, this will be it. It's probably the only song I've ever wrote that isn't personal. It's called Carolina. My wife works at she's a radiologist at a hospital, so when she's at work, I'll watch movies. And I watched a movie one night, and so I got an idea for a song and I wrote it. So this is what came of it. It's called Carolina.
I'll be on my way to Tennessee for 360 miles from here to Nashville. Well, then 1,000 I love you memories. Well, there's a note you wrote that's stuffed in my pocket. Well, then a picture of us on our wedding day. And looking back right now, I can't believe that you ever fell for me anyway. And I got the hammer down. I gotta get out of this town. There ain't nothing here but a little white church, a cafe on the corner where you used to work, a bar down the street where we first met. I try to forget, but I haven't yet. And all I need is just a little bit of time to get you out of my head and off of my mind. I can't give up, no won't give in. Playing a game that will never win. Always dreamed that we'd end up together. We could take on the world, walking hand in hand. But it takes more than hope to make it last forever. When you're a certain kind of woman, I'm a different kind of man. I got the hammer down. I gotta get out of this town. There ain't nothing here but a little white church, a cafe on the corner where you used to work, a bar down the streets where we first met. I try to forget, but I haven't yet. And all I need is just a little bit of time to get you out of my head and off of my mind. I can't give up, no won't give in. Playing a game that will never win. And I got your heart, you got my name. Well, there ain't no one left between us to pass the blame. And I'm tired of singing the same damn thing. I got a lifetime hanging on your diamond ring. And there ain't nothing here but a little white church, a cafe on the corner where you used to work, bar down the streets we first met. I try to forget, but I haven't yet. And all I need is just a little bit of time to get you out of my head and off of my mind. I can't
some songs I wrote, and I was like, man, I wish somebody else would just take it because I hate singing.
So, when you say that you wrote that one basically watching a movie.
Yeah. Kind of put an idea in my head.
You know, a lot of it comes from what you actually experience, I think, and where you grew up and all those things that happened in your past. But there's part of it too is just this unknown thing. It's like, well, let me go out and see if I can explore this thing that I don't know anything about and come to some understanding about what it means. And that's where this one started out as a joke with a friend. And the thing that I always say live is that I made the whole thing up. I mean, literally.
Sometimes it just comes out of
you
nowhere.
know,
You don't have
California still exists as best I know. And there are a few things like that. Louis B. Mayer's a real person. But as far as the storyline goes, this whole thing is made up. This is called Sarah Lawrence. Sarah Lawrence was a C-list actress, the pin-up craze of the Second World War. Signed a contract with Louis B. Mayer, but that ain't what she came out to California for. Sarah Lawrence, she could work a party with Midwestern charm and expensive perfume. Needing more than looks and talent, Sarah could smell the old money in the room, and it was very good to be Sarah Lawrence, queen of the Hollywood Hills. So very good to be Sarah Lawrence, Sarah Lawrence. Sarah Lawrence, she married quite well. Not that it matters, but his name was O'Malley. More germane to the telling of the story. Hubby owned half of Silicon Valley, and it was very good to be Sarah Lawrence, queen of the Hollywood Hills. So very good to be Sarah Lawrence, Sarah Lawrence. Adored by all the stars, from Olivier to Mel Torme. Sarah Lawrence lived in a time long since gone away. Sarah Lawrence, she died on her birthday in her own bed of Mulholland Way. Spent a chunk of her life savings on a headstone you could read from the Ventura Freeway. It was very good to be Sarah Lawrence, queen of the Hollywood Hills. So very good to be Sarah Lawrence, Sarah Lawrence. Sarah Lawrence. Sarah Lawrence.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's a cool story, man. It's crazy how, like, you were saying sometimes it's mainly about what you know, what you've lived through, but sometimes when something just pops in your head and you're like, I don't know where that came from, how it got there, but it works.
Right. Well, I've got this kind of a saying that I throw out at people that writers read. You know, I've got a book going, or 3 books going all the time, and it's. I think it's how I create this dialogue in my head.
I mean, I used to read all the time. I've got an 8-month-old boy at the house and a 7 and 8-year-old daughter, so I don't have that much time to read these days. But man, I used to be reading 3 or 4 books at a time, like you said, just constantly trying to find something different to get a different point of view.
Right.
Alright, I'm not going to do one about killing somebody. I'm going to do one about manufacturing methamphetamines. So, my mom's going to kill me. My mom hates this song, but my uncle is doing 40 years in the Oklahoma State Penitentiary for cooking meth. My mom was like so embarrassed whenever this song came about. My little brother called me. I've got 3 little brothers. All of them play, all of them write. And my youngest brother called me. He's like, hey man, I got half of a song wrote about Uncle Chris. I need you to finish it. So I finished it and played it for Mom. Mom's like, you better not let your grandma hear that. She will disown you. And then we were playing a show a couple weeks ago, and Grandma was there, and she's like, man, will you write them lyrics down so I can give them to your uncle? I bet he'd love to hear that. But anyways, this song's called River Bottom Pharmacy.
Down an old blacktop road, little man was all alone. Sold his drugs day and night. Never knew who to expect. But when they come, you just always knew they would. Had people out of state come try to buy his leg. Yeah, his name ain't got around. Well, they were parked way out back behind the trees and the railroad tracks when the deal went down. Yeah, he was a good one till that meth got in the way. Down at the river bottom pharmacy, yeah, that River Road drugstore. Lived in a rundown shack, a bunch of rusty cars in the back, and a bunch of things he didn't need. One day the feds got a call, got in touch with the local law. They started getting insane. And when the doors came busting in, he ran but he couldn't win. So he laid the blame out on the strand. Got away free and clean, just 3 days in the pen. Now he's out there cooking that shit again. Yeah, he was a good one till that meth got in the way. Down at the River Bottom Pharmacy, yeah, that River Road drugstore. Yeah, that River Road drugstore. Yeah, that River Road drugstore.
I think that's maybe the new benchmark for songwriting. You haven't done your job if you're not disowned by your grandma.
She actually liked it, surprisingly.
Yeah, you know, that's funny how, especially children, once they get raised and they've raised their children, and then they want to be protective of their parents, and their parents, you know, they have it figured out, but we just don't want to believe it. It's like, no, Mom, you need my help. You really do need my help.
Alright, man, so, if you could pick 2 songwriters, live or dead, that you could sit on stage with and do a show with, who would it be?
The first name's Bob Dylan.
Good choice.
You know, I don't care what they say. He's better than Townes Van Zandt.
Oh,
And I love Townes Van
Spot
Zandt.
words right there, buddy.
I love Townes, but you know, she lives with them on Montague Street in the basement down the stairs. There's music in the cafe at night, revolution in the air. She started into dealing with slaves and something inside them died. She had to sell everything that she owned and froze up inside. Doesn't get any better than Bob Dylan. The second one, no brainer. John Lennon, my hero. The reason I do this.
Okay. Good choices. Very good choices.
Yeah. And you know, I could do a million of them. And I love towns. Believe me, I love towns.
That could be done. Trust me, I know.
Oh, yeah. And there are people that I'm going to tell you that, you know, I believe are very underrated songwriters. I think Ronnie Van Zant from Leonard Skinner is a very underrated songwriter. I think had Jim Croce lived, there wouldn't be any conversation about who the best songwriter that ever lived was. You know, I go on and on and on. Guy Clark, my goodness.
I mean, my favorite artist, my favorite songwriter changes every week, so I understand.
Oh, it changes with me all the time too. So, you know, like I was telling you earlier, Matt Harlan is the real deal. No, you know, outside of Houston, not many people have heard of Matty. He's the real stinking deal. And there are a lot of, you know, and Chris knows this because of the fact that he gets to see all these people because they come through here. There's a lot of really, really good songwriters that nobody's ever heard of. I mean, you know, they may be famous in their little town of 30,000, but outside of that, nobody knows who they are. So I'm going to go kind of the same direction, but I'm going to ask you, especially because, you know, you're a lot younger than I am. Who are your influences? Who are the people that made you say, I got to do this, I got to pick up a guitar, and I got to write songs?
I will give you one band, and they're not even around anymore. Like I said, I drummed forever, and I was always rock and roll with my uncle. Whenever I was playing drums, it was always AC/DC, Metallica, all that stuff. And a buddy of mine taught me to go to a Cross Canadian Ragweed concert.
Yeah.
And I was sitting about 10 foot from the stage, watching everybody go nuts. They start playing Boys from Oklahoma, and the old man in front of me just starts pulling out joints from behind his ear, lighting them and passing them. And it was that moment I was like, man, whatever they're doing it right. They controlled that crowd the entire night. They just set it on fire. But that's what got me wanting to write. But then I started digging deeper, and people like Case Carl, Jack Ingram, Guy Clark, Towns Van Zandt. I started listening to that singer-songwriter stuff more than the full band theater show. And Chris Knight, just there's several people that I get told I sound like Chris Knight a lot. I don't see it, but I get told that. But there's just so many. Like I listen to a different artist every week, and I listen to them all week long, on repeat. And then the next week will be somebody different.
You know, I just went through this thing on Facebook where they challenged me, somebody challenged me to post just the album cover of my 10 favorite records over a 10-day period. I couldn't do 10. For starters, it took me about 17 or 18 to get it done. But if you look at that, if you look at it as a broad work, it's everything from Charlie Parker. I love the way that man plays horn. It's just magical. Charlie Parker to Led Zeppelin, which is my favorite rock and roll band. I got to see them before Bonzo died, so I've seen Zeppelin in their heyday. To on the other end of the spectrum, I just talked about the day I met Willie. I was a senior in high school, went to college campus that weekend, and was staying with some buddies, and they put on Red-Headed Stranger, and my world changed. I mean, my God, what a concept album! And yeah, Willie's Willie.
Willie's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I can remember, like, speaking of Willie, my grandpa, he listened to Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, Randy Travis, and of course I was younger. And I was like, man, this stuff's terrible. Why do you always listen to this over and over and over? And it wasn't until I really got into the trying to write my own stuff that I appreciated what they did and figured out how awesome they were. Now, the only time I've called into work in 6 years was the day that Merle Haggard died. And the only reason I did that is because I knew they were going to be playing on the radio all day long.
Yeah.
Let's see here. If you could, you said I was a lot younger than you, so I'm gonna go with the opposite of that. You're obviously older than I am. If you could go back to when you first decided to take this route in your life, to write songs and do what you do, and you knew now what you didn't know then, what would you change, if anything?
You know, truthfully, here's what I think. I wouldn't have been so focused. My whole life, I've been focused on, I have to have a job because I can't make money playing music. So I have to have a job. I think I'd have quit my job a lot earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's me. I have a full-time job. I got to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. I got a 3-hour job back tonight. But,
and it's a different story when you've got a wife and you've got kids to take care of.
I got 3 kids.
I mean,
music don't.
And I understand that, you know, I was 32 before I got married.
Really?
And don't regret that I got married, that I have 2 kids that are just great. I mean, I got way better than I deserve as far as kids are concerned. Karma must skip a generation. It's the only thing I can figure. You know, it was always this, I want to play, but I gotta have this security blanket. You know, I gotta have this thing I can hold on to that I know is gonna get the bills paid.
So when was it that you decided that you were going to jump all in and lose the security blanket?
You know, it was a culmination of things that happened, and it was about 6 years ago. I'd been with the organization that I worked for 25 years, had a great career with them, wrote their software, managed their facilities, and nonprofit organization, great organization, been in business over 100 years. I got tired of being there. I felt like I'd done everything I could do to help them get to wherever it was that they needed to go next. The CEO had announced that she was going to retire, and I did not want to have to live through a new CEO cycle. That was part of it. The other part of it was that I came to a point about a dozen years ago where I said, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to sit down and write a book. You know, I went to school and studied journalism so that I could write 3-minute songs, and thought, you know, I'm going to do this. So I had this dream one night, got up, wrote 26 pages, and then for the next year and a half ground my way through writing this book. And it was, you know, it's about the only things I know: sex, drugs, rock and roll, and the mafia. And I love the mafia. So
I'm going to have to read that.
So it's online. I mean,
I will be looking it up.
First draft. The other thing I learned in the process is there's only one thing harder than writing the first draft of a novel. That's writing the second draft of a novel after an editor's gotten done chewing it up. Because trying to go back and rewrite it's like, oh, I don't want to write this again. But in this novel, there was a fictitious band. And I thought, well, it'd be cool if this band was playing songs I wrote, right? So at some point I thought, you know, maybe I should see if I can still play some of these songs in case somebody asks. So I started doing open mics and relearning some of these older songs, and then I started writing new songs. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
Really?
You know, and I had a friend that gave me some great advice about, you know, start out small, get you a few venues here locally in the Houston area where you can play, and then just widen your circle of influence. Well, last year the circle of influence went to 37 states and Canada.
That's
we
awesome.
did 275 shows.
That's awesome.
So, and you know what? It's fun. This
Wow.
this lifestyle is fun.
I guarantee it. It's just, I don't know if there was like one particular moment that stuck out to you. There's like, because to me, like it'd have to be a big push for me to say, all right, I'm just going to hit the road. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to do that.
Right.
But I've also got other things I have
Right,
to take
well, and
care
I
of.
understand that. I mean, it's way different when your kids are, what, 4 and 8? Is that what you said?
7, 8, and 8 months.
7, 8, and 8 months. See, when I did it, mine were 22 and 25. So, you know, a lot different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, and I've talked to a lot of people about that, about where do you see this point where you just gotta jump off the cliff and see if you can fly.
I don't think there's ever timing. I mean, if you wait for timing, I think.
Oh,
wait a lot.
agreed. You can wait forever for the right time. No doubt about it. Your last question. And I know this answer for me, but I want to hear it from you. When you write, is there a process? Do the lyrics come first? Does the melody come first? Do the chords come first? I know that's a question everybody probably asks, but I'm always interested in how people do it mechanically.
Man, I'll get lines in my head, like not a song. I'll just have like a one line, but it's really hard for me to sit down and try to just rough draft a song on paper. I've got to have music, and then whatever I'm playing at that moment, it could be a love song or it could be a killing song. It just whatever I feel like the music needs. Like I can't just take paper. Like I've had people hand me paper. Hey man, go turn this. I wrote this. You know, make it into a song. I can't do that.
Yeah, that can be difficult.
Like if I don't have it in my head the way I want it to sound, or if I'm not just making it up right there on the spot, I can't take something and just turn it into something. But
do you co-write or?
Man, I've never co-written really. I had a buddy of mine, well, my older brother. He River Bottom Pharmacy. He wrote the first half of that, and then he called me. I was at Walmart with my daughters, and he's like, "Hey man," he sent it to me like a voice memo, and from Denison to Colbert, it's about 15 minutes. So from the time we left Walmart to the time we got to Colbert, I'd already wrote the second verse. But that's really the only co-write I've ever did. I just my thought process and the way I do things, I think would probably not be the same as somebody else's, and I think it'd be more of a headache than anything I'm trying to do. But I know there's awesome benefits from doing it.
Right.
So.
And you know, and I've seen it both ways. I tend personally not to enjoy co-writing. For one thing, I kind of view these as being my children, and I want to birth them all by myself and raise them all by myself. And it's not that I haven't. I mean, I've been in songwriter groups where you bring in a song and they'll critique it, and then you take their feedback, and then you can use that to help change a line here, change a line there. But by and large, it's one of these things that I just want to stay right here.
That's me. I said, if I need help with a line, I might get help with a line. But as far as just sitting down like, hey, we're going to write about this today, I don't think I can do it.
But that's what the songwriters group's always great about. And that's what I tell them is, you know, I'm still fiddling with a few lines, and if you come up with a better line, I'll use it.
Yeah. Like I said, if it's good, it's good. That's all I care about.
Well, again, I'm going to feed off what Jamie just did, and I have to say I've never written a song about a relative who's gone to jail. I could, but I haven't.
That's on my mom's side.
But this is one of those songs that came out of. Actually, I'm gonna give Ray Wiley Hubbard all the props on this. I was reading Ray's biography, and he had a section in the middle, of course, like most biographies do, of pictures of him when he was a baby all the way to current. And he had a picture, and all the caption said below was Loco Gringo. Now, I literally set the book down and wrote this song, and then picked the book back up to turn the page and see that Ray had written a song called Loco Gringo's Lament. The interesting thing about that song is the word loco, gringo, and lament are not in the lyrics anywhere. That's just the title.
It's there, huh?
So this is kind of where I went off the rails with this one, and it's called Loco Gringo. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Winding across West Texas, day like any other day. Took a wrong turn interlingua, knew there'd be hell to pay. I'm a loco gringo, baking in the Mexican sun. A loco gringo, gonna find me a bottle of mezcal, gonna have me some fun. Met a sweet senorita named Magdalena. She picked me with a peck on the cheek. Gave me some of that extra special loving that had me itching for weeks. Yeah, I'm a loco gringo, baking in the Mexican sun. A loco gringo, gonna find me a bottle of mezcal, gonna have me some fun. I saw Pancho Villa, pistola waving in each hand, now being killed by a desperado is the ending that I've always planned. Yeah, I'm a loco gringo, baking in the Mexican sun. A loco gringo, gonna find me a bottle of mezcal, gonna have me some fun. Yeah, I'm a loco gringo, baking in the Mexican sun. A loco gringo, gonna score me some Acapulco gold. Across the border I'm gonna run, 'cause I'm a loco gringo. A loco gringo. Loco gringo.
It's a cool story, man. It's really cool. It's cool how you came up with the story from the Ray Wiley Hubbard biography.
Yeah, well, I love Ray to death. Ray's just an incredibly genuine, one of these larger than life people that is just fascinating. And I have a good friend whose name is Bob Livingston, who was a bass player in the Los Gonzo band. And Bob tells the stories really, really well. I mean, the story behind Redneck Mother and how Ray went into the wrong bar and got his ass kicked. Yeah. And came back out and wrote Redneck Mother.
That's funny. Ed Hubbard's probably lived more than most people on Earth.
Right.
Definitely told more stories than most people on Earth.
Yeah.
So I had a good buddy of mine that was overseas with me, and anytime we used to go out when we got home, of course we were overseas for 16 months, so when we got back we were going to tear it up in the United States a little bit, you know. And anytime we go out, his wife would tell him, you know, if you come home drunk, I'm going to kill you. She never did. They're still married. They got 3 kids now, but I wrote a song about that, but in my story, she actually does kill him. It's called Dress to Kill.
There's a ring on the table that he left the night before. She's getting sick and tired of sitting home, staying at the door. But everybody knows that she ain't the cheating kind. Oh, but he's crossed that line one too many times. Yeah, yeah, it's the same old song. Oh no, it's been too long. Hey, hey, another love gone wrong. She got her makeup on, you know she's dressed to kill. When she lights up a cigarette and chokes a couple of pills. She takes a look in the mirror and says to the game. Well, every night she's gonna make damn sure that she forgets his name. Yeah, yeah, it's the same old song. Oh, oh, it's been too long. Hey, hey, another love gone wrong. The headlights through the window as it pulls to the drive. Well, she was crying in the bedroom, low, it's 45. He says, baby, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. She said you might be right, but tonight you pay for your sin. You're gonna pay for them. Yeah, yeah, it's the same old song. Oh, oh, it's been too long. Hey, hey, another love gone wrong.
It's one of the songs I normally don't do acoustic.
Good old E minor. It's
Yeah.
good for them killing songs, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Any minor chord's good for a killing song.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I've got a buddy whose name's Ken Gaines, and he wrote a song that talks about God and the devil making a deal.
Yeah.
And one of the things the devil's got to have is all the songs in minor keys. The devil gets all the minor chord songs.
That reminds me of that Culture Wall song, Devil Wears Black or something like that. That's a full tune.
Right. Well, you killed somebody, so I probably should too, I guess.
Let's hear it.
This is one of those tunes that just came into my mind kind of like a movie reel, and I kind of just saw it play out, and then I sat down and I wrote the lyric. And so I joke in concert because this is a song that I wrote, I don't know, in the 80s sometime probably, and never could get it on a record. I mean,
So you're saying the song's older than I am?
probably so. And it didn't, you know, it was on the short list for both my solo records, and just didn't make the record. But it's a song I play all the time. So when I did a live record, it miraculously ended up there because I play it almost every night. This is called Come Tomorrow Morning. Quite like the man you want, see you strung out in some deserted alley. Like the animal inside, strike, strike again. But there's no need for looking back, the future's laid out neatly there before you. Come tomorrow morning, things will never be the same. Come tomorrow morning, you'll be feeling all the pain. You think I just passed you by, my sweet lily of the valley? Just leave you lying there like some unturned stone along the trail. But there's no need for letting go. Fears come creeping in from all around you. Come tomorrow morning, things will never be the same. Come tomorrow morning, you'll be feeling all the pain. Maybe it'll ease your aggravation, somehow help you live within the pain. Though you could have done anything you wanted, would have all turned out the same. Yeah. So when you're out on the street, you're running to John or Gene or Sally, it'll be your place to say, oh yes, I knew him well. Well, there I've gone and blown it now. The future lies within the ground below you. Come tomorrow morning, things will never be the same. Come tomorrow morning, you'll be feeling all the pain. Come tomorrow morning, one fine day, yeah, you'll end up lying in the rain. Thanks.
Really mellow.
Yeah, I play these songs together a lot of times. I'll play that one, and then I'll play Melissa from the Allman Brothers right behind it. And my response is, if it hadn't been from Greg writing Melissa, I couldn't have wrote that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the progression of that. So.
Yeah.
So I worked for a glass company for 10 years. I was a furnace mason, so I traveled all over the United States, going and working on furnaces, doing this and doing that. And me and my wife had just got together whenever I started doing a lot of traveling. I think I was in North Carolina. She was like, you need to get your ass home now. So between North Carolina and Dallas on the airplane, I wrote this song. It's we just recorded it as a single. It's called Home to You.
Late night in another small town, a million miles away from you, and I can't seem to get you off of mine. Well, I know you're probably sitting at home, drinking wine all alone, or staying at the wild just to pass the time. And I've been running like the devil for 3 damn days, hoping like hell you remember my name. These neon lights are giving me the blues. I got a pansy head and I'm running on fumes. My motor is blown, I'm out of turn, and all I need is getting back home to you. 6-string and a broke down drink, playing for beer and gasoline. Well, this road ain't what I thought it'd be. Well, I miss the taste of your kiss. It's been too long since I felt your lips, and I wish you were laying right next to me. And I've been running like the devil for 8 damn days, hoping like hell you remember my name. These neon lights, they're giving me the blues. I got a fancy head, and I'm running on fumes. My motor is blown, no matter turn, and all I need is to get back home to you. Back home to you, yeah. And I've been running like the devil for 10 damn days, hoping like hell you remember my name. These neon lights, they're giving me the blues. I got a pansy head, and I'm running on fumes. My motor is blown, no matter turn, and all I need is to get back home to you. Late night in another small town, 1,000,000 miles away from you, and I still can't get you off my mind.
I'm just going to take from what you did again, and this is a song that I haven't been playing too long, really. It's called Back to You. Cruising back and forth to the office, 200 miles at a time. Got this long distance love affair, standing in test quiet fire. But I miss you more on Tuesday than I did Monday afternoon. Any day that I can't touch you leaves me feeling blue. Long as there's blood in my veins, I'll be getting me back to you. Gotta get me back to you. Sometimes you do what you want, sometimes you do what you gotta. Sometimes it's best to know what you know, disregard what you oughta. And it's wise to avoid all the skeletons in the room. My greatest fear is this'll all end too soon. Long as there's a beating in my heart, I'll do what it takes to get back to you. Gotta get me back to you. Back to you. Gotta get me back to you. Dreams at night draw me back to you. Holding you tight pulls me back to you. Earthly delight draws me back to you. Getting it right sends me back to you. Back to you. There's a lonesome diesel rolling across the Kansas plains. Shoveled in right behind you, too desperate to be afraid. So as long as your life still got the road, you need to get off this road now, yeah, pretty soon. As long as there's gas money in my pocket, I'll be driving you back to you. Gotta get me back to you. Back to you. Gotta get me back to you.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, so we are back with Songbirds and Troubadours 25. You've been watching Jamie Weger and Keith Rea just light the world on fire with original music, 5 songs apiece. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you can follow along with these great songwriters on their social media, where you can buy their music. I know they both have music available in digital media outlet stores. So first we're going to talk with Jamie. Where can folks follow along with the journey you have going on?
Man, Facebook is really the big thing these days. I don't do Twitter. I'm not very computer. So
yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, Jamie Weger in the High Ground, and then Jamie Weger in the High Ground on Instagram as well. If you want the music, it's on iTunes, Spotify, Rhapsody, anywhere you can find it, really.
YouTube, killer stuff on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. I know of the Oklahoma Angel video that I absolutely adore is on YouTube. It's in my playlist. It's not easy to get into my playlist, just so y'all know out there. And Jamie is definitely in there. I love that song. I told you that the first minute I met you that I love that song.
That was the first thing that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, sure was. And so it's Jamie Weger. It's Weger. Put that into. You can even put it into Google if you have to. But it's Jamie Weger and Higher Ground on High Ground on Facebook. Hit that like button. It's completely free for you to do that, and it'll help Jamie a ton.
I appreciate it.
It really does help these songwriters and artists out a lot. Keith, same question to you. Where can folks follow along with you?
Sure. Well, the first and easiest answer is KeithRea.com. The biggest obstacle there is that my last name is spelled R-E-A. So it's a river in England.
Yeah, it is.
It sure is. I've been there. Looks like a drainage ditch, but I put my hands in it anyways because it's the River Ray. Anyway, KeithRea.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Reverb Nation. My digital stuff's out there all over the place. iTunes. I've got videos on YouTube.
Yep.
All the likely places. I don't do Twitter simply because of the fact that I can only do so much of this stuff, and so I kind of try to. I've got it designed so that I put everything in Reverb, and then it goes from there where it needs to.
Yeah.
Reverb's pretty smart about sending posts to Facebook directly, and tying videos directly to YouTube. So Reverb just is the way that works best for me.
Yeah, I get that about Twitter because I mean I've had movie producers thinking about filming a Western around my Twitter because it's a ghost town.
Yeah. I think I tried it once. It didn't last long.
I have a Twitter account, and I have no idea what it is.
We have a lot of followers on Twitter, but like everything I put on my Twitter is literally automatically generated, like you were saying about Reverb Nation. I've got our YouTube set up to where everything I upload goes directly to YouTube, to Twitter. So we have 4,000 tweets, and I'm telling you, less than 100 of those are actually me typing. You know, so but follow us on Twitter. It's cool. But if there's venues out there that might want to book you guys, where can they contact you, Jamie?
Like I said, easiest to be Facebook. I wouldn't give you my phone number, but my wife probably wouldn't like it.
Let's not do that.
No, Facebook is usually where I do all my booking. If I don't do it, I do everything myself. So I go through Facebook. I have an email for the band, but I hardly ever use it.
Right.
So it's just easier to go to Facebook. And have it all
So shoot them a message on that Facebook page right after you hit like. Remember that. And Keith, same question.
Yeah, both ways. Facebook works for me. I also use email a lot, and that's real easy too. It's Keith@KeithRea.com.
Okay.
Again, all that information is on the website.
Okay.
Where I've played, where I'm going to be, how to get in touch with me, all that good stuff.
And one of the busiest guys I know. Without a doubt.
We're having fun. That's
Yeah.
the point.
And remember, it's Rea, R-E-A, KeithRea.com. Keith at KeithRea.com is the email address. Contact Jamie at Jamie Weger and High Ground. I got it. Hit that message button on there, and it'll go directly to him. And that is wife approved, so that's good. Once again, Jamie, I got to thank you for your service and for spending or coming so far to spend some time with us.
Anytime, man.
Man, if I had known you had to be at work at 4 a.m., I wouldn't have let you come.
It ain't that big of a deal. Trust me. Like I said, I'm in Dallas tomorrow night, so turn around and do it all over again.
Oh, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I also need to point out that we did have an episode with Keith in season 1. I believe it's episode number 68. If you'd like to learn more about Keith, we really got into depth about his process for songwriting, his novel. We talked a little bit about that on the show as well, and you'll see 2 songs in that episode as well that he did not play tonight. So 2 additional songs for Keith Rea. Episode 68, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's 68. I'm going to check after just to impress myself. And of course, it's probably like 92 or something. Once again, I want to thank everybody out there for watching Songbirds and Troubadours, number 25. Can't believe we've done 25 of these shows. Started the show in January of this year. Here we are in July. No duplicate songwriters yet, and we're booked into September with no duplicate songwriters. I'm curious how long we can keep this show going without featuring the same songwriter a second time. I think we're going to be able to do it for a while because we have a waiting list of over 80 right now.
That's awesome.
Crazy how popular this show has become. And that's because of you guys out there watching the show. But if you're watching for the first time or listening for the first time, first of all, I got to let you guys know out there who are listening that this is also on live video in YouTube. So make sure you're checking out the live video version too if you're listening to the audio out there. If you are tuned in for the first time, you can follow along with everything we got going on at ETX Rocks. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe and like buttons. That's the best way you can support our show. Subscribe and like. And if you subscribe, hit that little bell thing over to the right somewhere down there. Over there. I don't know. It's a new thing somebody told me about. Hit the bell. That's what they tell me. Boston tell them to hit the bell. So I'm telling y'all, hit the bell. I don't know what it does, but maybe you guys can comment and tell me what the bell does. Deal? Okay, good. Also, we are completely low budget on the show, and I put emphasis on the word low. Trust me. And so it's viewers and listeners like you out there that can really help support the show. We've set up a donate link at www.paypal.me/ETX Rocks. Send us some money, even if it's only $1 or $1.50 or something like that. You know, don't buy a milk at school or something. Send us that money. Milk's not good for you anyway. That's what I heard.
You're taking kids' milk money now.
Gotta pay the bills, Keith Rea. Gotta pay the bills. I won't take your milk money. Just tell, like, maybe it's like pizza money. Get the milk, not the pizza. There, that's better, right? Yeah. All right, cool. We feel better about ourselves now.
I hate to think you were taking some little kid's milk money.
Look, our demographic's like 35 to 44 anyway, so if I'm taking like some 38-year-old guy's milk money, I'm okay with that. I'm just saying. My God, if you're 38 and you need milk money, there's something wrong.
Man, times are hard, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. I think I pronounced Bud Light milk. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because of y'all's donations out there that we just launched a brand new webpage in March of this year. You can find that at www.etxrocks.show, and you'll find over 10,000 hours of content on there, over 300 episodes, either Songbirds Troubadours, the Ricky Lynn Gregg Show, or regular ETX Rock Show. It's all on there at your fingertips. And plus there's a live internet radio playlist playing in the background where these guys' performances from tonight will end up on there as well. So if you want to hear live performances from the show, all you gotta do is go to that webpage. It plays automatically. Really cool stuff. So make sure you're checking that out. And as we always say on the ETX Rock Show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right. Thanks for watching.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX